What's up, guys? TheDevildogGamer here. Today we're playing some Caliber. You might have seen this played on my channel before, but now it's actually on Steam. So what is Caliber? Caliber is a free-to-play third-person shooter that takes a lot of homage from games like SOCOM and the Ghost Recon series and makes a really cool PvP experience. Not only is it PvP, it's also PvE and PvP PvE. That's a mouthful. And it has tons of different operators with different weapons, different abilities, and is probably one of the better multiplayer games I've played in a hot minute. The main reason we're actually coming back to this is during its original release, it had its own launcher, it wasn't on Steam, and there were no US servers, which made my life kind of difficult playing as a US player. The hit detection was kind of terrible, and it was just having a lot of problems with it. But now with the release on Steam, it also has US servers, and they reworked the economy, making it easier to unlock stuff. And I gotta say, this experience with the Steam release and all the updates they've done is absolutely amazing. But before we get started talking more about Caliber, I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Zydax PC. Zydax has been a huge friend of the channel. All of my PCs I've used for the past couple of years have been Zydax PCs, and they are amazing. If you're not kind of the person that likes to kind of do your own building like me because you mess stuff up, you're looking for a pre-built, not only do they have the best build quality, because I've never had any problems with any of their computers, they have amazing customer service and a lifetime guarantee on parts, so if something happens to your PC in the future, they got you covered. So make sure you guys check them out down in the description below. Caliber's definitely changed since the last time I've played it. The gameplay is pretty much similar. The economy, though, is a lot different. It's a lot easier to unlock things, and they've added tons of new operators. They have 4 classes. You have your Assault, your Medic, your Support, and your Marksman. Within those classes, you have multiple nations, multiple special forces that you can choose from. Each operator has its own special ability that can do many things like drones. One of the Chinese medics has a corner shot, that Glock that could shoot around corners. There's just so much variety in different ways you can play these operators with their special abilities that it kind of adds a pretty cool replayability to the game itself. I've become absolutely addicted to this game. Not because, well, there's nothing really innovative about it. It just brings the nostalgia of old SOCOM Ghost Recon multiplayer, but adds just enough replayability that, I kind of want to go and just try this operator or try this, setup, or maybe, I should do this differently. But there's just so much to this game. It's simplistic, but yet the gameplay and the basics to it are so good that, like, I really have zero complaints about it. It's got PvE, it's got ranked play, it's got your casual play. There's always something really to do with this, and in a day and age where there's so many multiplayers now that, do things wrong, I gotta say, this is one of the few games that I think is absolutely perfect. I was addicted to it back then when it first came out. The only reason I stopped playing it was because there were no US servers, which made hit detections an issue. Not so much. I don't really have an issue with hit detection. I've maybe seen one hacker in the probably 20 to 30 hours I've actually played this game, which is rare in a multiplayer game, especially if you play stuff like Tarkov. But the experience enough for it, for a free-to-play game, is awesome. It's really unmatched, and this game has my full attention lately. I think a lot of people, though, will look at the third person and be like, I like first-person shooters. The Division kind of changed third-person shooters, the outlook on third-person shooters for a lot of people. It was a really great game, and it kind of brought third-person shooters back. Back in the day, we had SOCOM, we had the old Ghost Recon, which were third-person. And the multiplayer experiences for both of those games were absolutely amazing. And I think the oversaturation right now of the FPS market really brings back third-person shooters like Caliber, because it's different. It's not the same saturated market that we usually get. It's not the same experience that we usually get. And, with the variety of operators, the different maps, the different game modes, the different type of gameplay that you get with Caliber, it's nice and it's refreshing to actually see. A lot of people, are going to look at this and be like, it doesn't look like my cup of tea. All I can say is, because I thought it wasn't going to be my cup of tea either, try it. It's free. The only thing it's costing you right now is time, because the gameplay in this is absolutely next level, and it keeps me addicted. It keeps me wanting to go back and play more. Once you start getting operators unlocked and you start seeing some of these special abilities that you can do and how you play these operators, it's absolutely pretty cool, man. Some of these operators have some really awesome things, like drones that you can use to kill people, drones that go around and heal people, you know, revive guns. There's just so many cool different abilities. There's even a sniper that has a mortar, which is incredibly hard to use. You know, it's really awesome to play. One of the things I did hear about people, you know, that were watching me play this game is there's not a lot of customization with this game. You can unlock attachments to your gun. You can't really change the scope, change the, you know, anything like that. You can, but you can't go through multiple variations of it. One of the things, though, is that you can change the skin, and it kind of changes the gun with the skin. You can, you know, have an AK-74, but then, you know, you get a different skin for the gun, and the gun's kind of like a shorty AK-103. The stats for the gun don't change, but the appearance of it does. So it's a lot of cosmetic changes that you can do to make your operator look cool, or change the gun, or, you know, whatever object you're using, but it doesn't affect the gameplay whatsoever. So if you're one of those people that like, you don't like this gun looks cool, you know, you might like it, but it's not going to change the gameplay or the effect of it whatsoever. On top of that, there's not really any pay-to-win aspects to it. It's more of a pay-to-advance with your premium, kind of like games with War Thunder, where, you know, you can unlock stuff a little faster if you put some money down to it. But there's nothing in the game that's, you know, if I buy this, I'm going to be better than everybody else. It's just how much time you can really spend into it. But what they did with the new progression system, it's a lot easier to unlock operators now than it was for the original version. So if you're just somebody that wants to play it, you know, casually, you'll unlock stuff. You definitely won't have a problem unlocking things, and you'll get stuff done in the game pretty well. It's not like a War Thunder type grind where you're suddenly like, just grinding through and being like, when am I going to get stuff unlocked? But I definitely think everybody should at least try this game. There's a huge gaming drought right now. There's an oversaturation of tons of markets. A lot of people are really disappointed with how gaming's been. This is something that brings back kind of like a gameplay, an older gameplay that a lot of us kind of grew up on when we first got into PvP type games, especially with SOCOM. I think SOCOM was like one of the first PvP games that you could get, you know, multiplayer PvP that you could get on the PlayStation. And it brings back that nostalgia of it. But at the same time, it's different enough from current shooters that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy the gameplay. It's free, the servers work, the hit detection works, the economy is so much better. I think they've done leaps and bounds to improve this game since I last played it, that I definitely am confident enough to say that majority of you will like this game when you play it. Especially if you're somebody that's just really wants something to play right now because, you know, the drought is kind of terrible. We're all waiting for Stalker 2 and things like that. But right now, we're all replaying the same games over and over again. But I want to know what you guys think down in the description below. Do you think this is, you know, something that hasn't been touched in a while and that's why it's so good? What do you think is great about Caliber? What do you think would be a change that you would like to see with this game? Because right now, I'm addicted to it. I think this is one of the best games I have downloaded at the moment, and definitely is going to be something I play or stream a lot of. But I want to know what you guys think about this game. What do you think the future is with this game? What do you think that they would like to change, and what do you like about it?